Friday, October 12th, 2007. The time was 11:47 p.m. My name is Julian. I never thought I'd be the kind of person who shared ghost stories online. But what happened to me one night in a small town just off Highway 63 still haunts me. If you've ever driven past one of those roadside motels that look half abandoned, you might have wondered who even stays there anymore. Asterisk, well, I did. And I'll never forget what I found in room 6. Asterisk. I was on a long drive back from a work trip. My car was low on gas, and I was more exhausted than I wanted to admit. The highway stretched out endlessly through farmland and patches of woods. When I saw the glowing neon sign, Vacancy, Lakewood Motel, flickering in the distance, it felt like a relief. The building looked old, like it hadn't been renovated since the 80s. A row of doors lined the parking lot, each one with its number painted on a cracked surface. Out of the 12 visible rooms, only a couple had cars parked outside. I stepped into the office. The smell of stale cigarette smoke and dust hit me instantly. Behind the counter sat an older man, maybe in his late 60s, wearing thick glasses and a trucker hat. He didn't look up right away. "Need a room?" he asked flatly, still staring at the ledger on the desk. "Yes, just for the night," I replied. He flipped a page, then handed me a key with a rusted metal tag that read 6. "You can park right in front," he said. "Checkout's at 11. Don't lose the key." I don't know why, but when I held that key, something about it felt wrong. It was heavy, colder than it should have been. When I reached room 6, the door creaked as it opened. The air inside was musty, thick with mildew. The furniture was old, an orange armchair in the corner, a wooden dresser with a scratched mirror, and a bed that sagged in the middle. The carpet was stained, the kind of stains you don't want to think too much about. But what unsettled me most was the smell. It wasn't just mildew. It was metallic, like old blood mixed with dampness. I tried to shake it off. I tossed my bag on the chair, locked the door, and turned on the TV. The screen fuzzed with static before settling on a low-budget local channel. The volume knob was broken, stuck on a low hum that filled the silence dot at some point. I drifted off. The first incidente loud bang jolted me awake. My heart hammered in my chest. I looked around. Nothing seemed out of place. The TV was still humming, but the air felt heavier somehow. Then I noticed the bathroom light was on. I was sure I had turned it off before going to bed. I got up, cautiously, walked toward it, and flicked the switch off. But just as I turned back, I heard it dripping. A slow, steady plop, 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 echoing from the sink. When I leaned over to check, the sink was spotless. No water, no leak. But then I saw it dot in the reflection of the mirror. Behind me, there was a shadow. Not mine, not anyone's. A tall, dark shape standing near the doorway. I spun around. The room was empty. The whisper, I told myself it was my imagination. Maybe just the exhaustion. I tried to lie back down, pulling the blanket tight around me. But then I heard it, a whisper. At first, it was faint, almost like the sound of the TV static morphing into words. But then it grew clearer. "Don't stay." In 6, my throat went dry. I sat up, straining my ears. "Leave before she comes." The whisper seemed to come from inside the walls. I wanted to leave right then and there, but my body froze. Some strange mix of fear and disbelief kept me glued to the bed. The woman in the hall around 3 a.m. I heard footsteps outside. Slow, deliberate steps moving past my door, then stopping. I gathered the courage to peek through the curtain. She was a woman in a white dress, standing directly in front of room 6. Her face was obscured by her long, dark hair. She wasn't moving, just standing there, staring at the door. I stepped back, holding my breath. For a moment, the silence was unbearable. Then tap, tap, she knocked. Not loud. Just soft, rhythmic knocks. I didn't answer. I didn't move. After What felt like forever, I peeked out again. The parking lot was empty, the hidden drawer the next morning. Sunlight filtered through the blinds, and for a moment I convinced myself it was just a nightmare. I started packing my things when I noticed something strange about the dresser. One of the drawers didn't close all the way. Curious, I pulled it open. Inside was an old newspaper clipping, yellowed with age. The headline read, "Motel Guest. Found dead in room 6-1989. The article described a young woman traveling alone who had been found strangled. The manager claimed she was last seen checking in late at night. No suspect was ever caught. My blood ran cold. I shoved the clipping back and slammed the drawer shut. I didn't want to spend another second there. The final night, but fate wasn't that kind. My car wouldn't start. I tried the ignition again and again, but it was dead. When I went back to the office, the old man looked at me strangely. "Kerr, trouble?" he asked. "Yeah. Do you know a tow service?" He scribbled a number on a slip of paper, but added, "Might take a day." Not many drivers work Sundays. I had no choice. I was stuck for another night. That evening, I tried to stay awake, keeping the TV on as a distraction. Around midnight, the air turned icy cold. My breath fogged in the room. Then I heard it again. "Don't stay." In 6, the whisper grew louder, angrier. The TV cut to static and the lights flickered. The bathroom door slammed shut on its own. I ran to the door, fumbling with the key, but it wouldn't turn. Someone was holding it shut from the outside. When I turned back, she was there, the woman in white, standing inside the room this time. Her hair covered her face, but I could see her mouth open wide, unnaturally wide, as she let out a piercing scream. The lights exploded. The TV burst into sparks. And then darkness. Asterisk. When I woke up, it was morning. The room was normal again. The TV, the lights, the bathroom, all untouched. My car started without a problem, as if nothing had happened. I didn't check out. I didn't say goodbye. I just threw the key onto the counter and left to this day. I don't know if what I saw was real or if the motel was cursed by something darker, but if you ever find yourself driving down Highway 63 and see that flickering sign for the Lakewood Motel, do yourself a favor, never ask for room 6, asterisk, because some doors, once opened, never truly close.